Level 1. The expectation shatters. You thought this grocery trip would take 20 minutes, in and out. Milk, bread, maybe a treat if she behaves. You even packed her favorite snack for the car just in case. The parking lot was nearly empty. The cartwheels rolled smooth. For one small moment, this felt like it might be a good day. Then she sees the cereal aisle. She points. She says the word she said 40 times today. No. Not no to cereal, no to leaving without it. You kneel down, keep your voice soft, offer the granola bar tucked inside your bag instead. She looks at it like you've betrayed her. Then it starts. The scream arrives first, high and sudden, the kind that turns heads 3 aisles over. Her body drops, not stumbles, drops, boneless, onto the cold linoleum right beside the cartwheel. One sneaker kicks off, her sock slides halfway down her ankle. You reach for her hand, she yanks it back like your touch burns. Your knees press into the cold tile. You asked for milk and bread. She's asking for something you can't name yet. Somewhere behind you, a cartwheel squeaks to a stop. You don't turn around. You already know someone is watching. Level 2. The ordinary world. 10:42 a.m. The store clock hangs crooked above register 3, and you've already checked it twice, running the math. 2 minutes to gather milk and bread, 90 seconds to the car, home before her afternoon window closes. The math stopped working 4 minutes ago. The cart holds what you actually needed: a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, 2 bananas going soft at the stems, and one thing you didn't: a cereal box with a grinning cartoon bear clutched now against her chest, like she's smuggling it out of the building. Her left shoe, purple, Velcro strap flapping loose, lies 3 feet away by the soup cans. You picture retrieving it later, the way you picture everything now, a problem to be solved after the current one. This morning, you poured her milk into the blue cup. She wanted yellow. You didn't know the rule then, but you do now, the way you're learning all of today's rules, one broken expectation at a time. Somewhere behind you, a cartwheel squeaks, slows, stops. You almost laugh. Of all the days for an audience, you don't laugh. You just breathe and reach for the shoe. Level 3. The meltdown grows. You kneel. You whisper. She screams louder. You try the shoe again. She arches back, twists free, and it skitters under the end cap. You reach for the cereal box before it tips. Too late. 3 rings scatter across the tile. You offer the granola bar. She slaps it from your hand. You try to lift her. She goes rigid, then boneless, sliding straight through your arms and back onto the floor. For one terrifying second, you think you've hurt her. You haven't, but the fear lands anyway, fast and sharp, before you can talk yourself out of it. The cartwheel behind you has stopped squeaking. The silence feels louder than she does. You lower your voice, the way the books told you to, steady, calm. It doesn't reach her. She's somewhere you can't follow right now, and all you can do is stay close to the door of it. You tell yourself it's just one bad afternoon. It almost never stays one afternoon. You gather the shoe, the cereal, your knees ache against the tile. Somewhere under her cries, you hear your own heartbeat too, fast, too loud, keeping time with hers. Level 4, everyone is watching. You stand, shoe in one hand, cereal box in the other, and feel it before you see it. Eyes drifting towards you from every direction. A woman near the yogurt case pauses her cart. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't have to. She just needs a firmer hand, someone offers, not quite a whisper from 2 aisles over. Your face goes hot. "We're okay," you say, thinner than you mean it to sound. "Just having a moment." You are not okay. You suspect they know that too. Then an older man crouches down, not near you, near the cereal, and scoops the scattered rings back into the box without a word. He sets it in your cart, nods once, and walks on like it was nothing. It wasn't nothing. You feel something catch in your throat, unexpected, undeserved. Your daughter's cries have softened to hiccups, but you barely notice the audience anymore. You realize the meltdown stopped being the hardest part several minutes ago. Now it's the wondering. Who saw a bad mother and who saw a stranger who just needed one kind thing to happen? Level 5, the private confession. You lift her on your hip. She's quiet now, forehead damp against your shoulder, hiccups slowing. Passing the freezer aisle, you catch your reflection in the glass door. Hair loose from its tie, shirt creased where she gripped it. A woman you don't quite recognize anymore. You look away first. The thought arrives before you can stop it. You wish, just for a second, you were anywhere else, alone, somewhere nothing needs anything from you. Guilt lands the instant the wish does. You love her, fiercely, more than you knew you could. And still some tired, honest part of you counts the hours until bedtime and hates itself a little for counting. Another mother passes, Toddler humming contentedly in her cart, and you feel something small and sharp you don't want to name. Envy, toward a stranger, over nothing really, one calm hour you didn't get. You don't know her story, you only know yours, and today it looks like this. A woman standing in aisle 6, missing a version of herself she can't quite place anymore. You don't say any of it out loud, you just keep walking. Level 6, the cost. You buckle her into the car seat. She's asleep before the engine turns over, one shoe still missing its strap. The drive home is silent except for the radio you forgot to turn off, playing to no one. Your coffee sits cold in the cup holder, untouched since 7. Your phone buzzes against your thigh. 3 messages, unread since morning. A bill due tomorrow, a missed call from your sister you still haven't returned. None of it is anyone's fault. All of it is waiting anyway, and right now, the pile of bills and unreturned calls feels heavier than the entire meltdown. In the driveway, you sit a moment before going in. The laundry basket is exactly where you left it, spilling into the hallway. Dinner with friends tonight? You already know you're canceling. You hear your partner's key in the lock before you're ready for it, and feel the old tightness rise, the kind that has less to do with tonight and more to do with every night lately, the two of you passing each other like shift workers, tired in different directions. The toddler was never the only thing you were carrying. Level 7, the quiet realization. You carry her upstairs, her weight warm and total against your chest, and lay her in the crib. She sighs once and settles. You stand in the doorway longer than you need to. Downstairs, you sit on the edge of the couch and don't reach for your phone. You don't turn anything on. For the first time all day, nothing is demanding your attention, and the silence that arrives instead is heavier than you expected. A small fear surfaces, one you don't say out loud even to yourself, that if today keeps happening, the same floor, the same shoe, the same tight thread in your chest, you'll forget who you were before you learned to hold all of it. You think of the woman in the freezer glass, the one you didn't recognize. You wonder how many versions of yourself you've already lost without noticing. You hear your own breathing, finally, underneath the quiet. You don't have an answer, you just have the stillness and the small, stubborn fact that you're still sitting here, still standing, at the end of a day that tried hard to take you down. Level 8, the turn. Your partner sits down beside you, still in their coat, and doesn't ask about the dishes or the canceled dinner. They just sit. Today was hard, you say. Not an explanation, just true. They don't offer a fix, they just take your hand, the one still faintly smelling of grocery store bleach, and for a second, neither of you says anything else. Then quietly, they laugh. Not at you, at the shoe, sitting on the counter where you left it, one Velcro strap curled like it's giving up too. "We should just glue that thing to her foot," they say. It isn't much. It shouldn't be enough to help. It helps anyway. You feel your shoulders drop, half an inch, maybe less. You send the cancellation text. 3 honest words, no apology attached. You leave the dishes exactly where they are. You realize you don't have to be the parent who never ends up on a grocery store floor. You don't have to be the parent who never wants 5 quiet minutes alone. You just have to be here, hand in your partner's hand, choosing rest over guilt for the first time all day. It isn't a fix, it's the beginning. Level 9, the new perspective. You lie awake later, the ceiling fan turning slow circles above you, replaying the day the way you always do. The scream, the stares, the shoe, the thought in the parking lot you're still not proud of. Then you land on a different moment instead. Her hand, small and damp, reaching for yours in the middle of the meltdown. Before she pulled it back, before any of it calmed, she reached first. You hadn't noticed it happen. You notice it now. Maybe that's the part no one tells you, that falling apart in front of someone and reaching for them anyway isn't the opposite of trust. It's the whole of it. You think of the man who scooped the cereal back into the box without a word, the partner who laughed at a broken shoe instead of a broken day. Small, unremarkable kindnesses arriving exactly when they were needed. The tightness in your chest eases, not gone, just quieter. You didn't get a calm day, you got a true one. Messy, loud, and still somehow full of people staying close instead of walking away. You feel something unfamiliar settle next to the exhaustion. Something almost like pride. Level 10. Resolution. Morning comes quieter than yesterday. You're in the kitchen, coffee still warm this time, when you hear small footsteps in the hallway. She walks in, rubbing her eyes, holding the shoe, the one that started all of it, out toward you like a peace offering. "Help?" she asks. You kneel down, same as you knelt on that grocery store floor, and slide it onto her foot. She doesn't fight it. She just watches you, easy and trusting, like yesterday left no mark on her at all. Maybe it didn't. Maybe that was always the gift only children get to keep. You don't know what today will bring. Another meltdown maybe, another aisle, another private thought you'll keep to yourself. You can't promise yourself a good day. But you can promise this. You'll kneel down again. You'll stay close even when she pulls away. You'll notice the small kindnesses when they arrive, and you'll try, some days better than others, to be one yourself. That's not failure. That's what showing up looks like. Would you have stayed on your knees through that grocery aisle, or would yesterday have broken you first? Tell us about the hardest public meltdown you've ever lived through.